Hey, welcome to another episode of Business Mojo and Margaritas, where I get all up in your business in 20 minutes or less. I am Suzanne Proxa, your host, business strategist and coach for female entrepreneurs, and my jams just happen to be client attraction and marketing. So let's not delay any further. Let's dive in. Hey everybody, I'm super excited today because I am here with somebody that I absolutely adore online. She has actually been on my Triumph and Tiara's podcast as well, and she's got just the most amazing story. So if you have time, definitely hop over to triumphandtiaras.com and catch that podcast. And her name is Olivia Shepherd, and she is a life empowerment mentor. So she has used what she has been through in life and turned that into a thriving business. And so today we are going to talk about something that actually I am finding is very prominent in the online business community. And of course, as we see in the news, it's becoming very prominent there as well. I think we're just starting to dive into depression and really what that means to different people. And so I'm super excited to talk to her today because we're going to talk specifically about how we deal with depression in our businesses, because I am also affected as well. So with that little intro, I would love to have Olivia introduce herself. Hello, lady.
Hello. I am glad to be talking with you again. I am here to talk and discuss, how to deal with depression and run these great businesses that we have when we're, when life tells us we can't, we do what we need to do while going through this. And I am so glad I'm able to chat with you again about getting this done because I thought maybe it was something that we all needed to talk about.
Definitely, because I don't think that we have shined a bright enough light on it, especially in the online business community.
Exactly.
People are so quiet about it. It's when somebody posts an article about depression or even, about depression, chronic illness, a lot of times they go together. All of a sudden, there's all these people who come out of the woodwork talking about how they deal with it as well. So
Exactly.
So I know that you have been dealing with it for a while, and I know that I definitely have as well. I know for me, people are always telling me that they just can't believe it, because of course they see the side of us online, right? That's
Exactly.
all happy and bubbly and motivating, and they don't see the days when you're in the corner crying, with ice cream or whatever.
Yeah, I mean, it's hard. I mean, because like I said, we try to motivate everybody else to keep going. And like I like to tell everybody when I'm doing lives that when I motivate them, I motivate myself. So the days that I'm not motivating anybody, that's when I need the motivation. But there's those, those are the days that I'm just sitting, in the house, in the bed, just watching TV, feeling sorry for myself. And it gets bad, but I know that I have to keep going because I have a community of ladies that look up to me who are also struggling, and I have to have the mentor sometimes need mentoring, but I also have to be there for them. So I try to snap out of it, and and I know that's a cliche comment because we always say we don't, you can't snap out of it, but in that moment I snap out of it. I think about the good things around me, and I get up and I go do my podcast, my lives, and but I'm real with it. There are days I get on there and I don't have my hair all together, or I don't have any makeup on, or I don't have any eyelashes on. I like it for them to see the real me when I am feeling, bad. I say it, today I'm not feeling well, but I needed to still get on to just kind of like motivate you all, So I try to be honest about it because there are good days and there are bad days. So I try to be honest about it all the time and transparent.
And, you know, I think that's a great point and hopefully a motivator for the ladies who are listening because, you know, I can't tell you how many times I've had scheduled lives and I didn't want to do it. I didn't know if I could do it.
Exactly.
And, you know, I still made it on. I did not look outstanding, you know, just like you talked about. I didn't look outstanding. I wasn't high energy, but I was still able to get on and do it. And just like you said, I was able to tell people, hey, not really myself today. I apologize, but I think this message is important.
I mean, I've been there, done that, and I've done it a lot of times. Or sometimes what I do is pre-record, you know, and I'll just say, you know, I'm sorry I didn't, you know, sorry I couldn't be on live today. You know, I just wasn't feeling good, and I just couldn't do it because I'm so afraid that I'm going to break down and cry in front of everybody, which it wouldn't matter to me if I did or not. But I kind of just want to keep it, you know, kind of professional because I don't want everybody else to be crying too.
Right.
I don't want to have the whole Facebook Live, you know, we're just sitting there sobbing. So sometimes I will pre-record and then I'll put the message out there that way. I know that I'm literally at a point where I may break down on camera. So I try to do different things and different ways to do it. But I still get on. I still know that I need to run a business. And even with my cleaning business, I see clients every day. So these are people that look, when I come through the door, and I met a lady yesterday that is from Ohio, and she said she's a little depressed because she's living here in Columbia and she doesn't have any friends. So if I go into her looking sad and gloomy, you know, that makes her sad and gloomy. So I have to put on this persona when I'm going to her, like, hi, I'm Olivia, you know, I'm here to clean your house. And I wanted to tell her so bad, like, I don't want to talk, you know, but yeah. I have to be that, you know, I have to be courteous, I have to be professional, and I have to put on a, you know, a good smile and a good face, because even though I know that she's going through what she's going through, but I have to, sometimes I'm a little bit more upset because I have to see these people every day, you know, with Facebook Lives or recordings, you can kind of hide behind it, you know, or podcasts, you know, you kind of hide, you know, that we're looking kind of crazy, like, you know, so it's hard, but I do it. I pull it on, I pull myself together, put my big girl panties on, and I do what I have to do.
Yeah. And you know, sometimes there are the days where you really, it's actually not a good day to do anything because the energy is so low, you know, and that happens too. I know I've had that a few times recently because I'm dealing with health stuff again. And, you know, once you feel like you've conquered the health things and they come back, it's like, oh, come on.
Yes. It takes a lot of energy out of you. And I know sometimes my husband will say, like, I was just laying down just now. I was like, oh, you're laying down. And I know he just was like, well, you just woke up, but I'm laying back down again. But I'm like, I have a podcast at 4. But sometimes it drains you. It drains you that you have to, and thank God for me, I don't have any children at home. So I can pretty much just, you know, allow myself to lay down and take a nap or do something like that. So there are days that you just can't pull it together. But I try to be honest with my mentees that, look, and it's okay for you to be like this, but you got to get up out of it. You got to get to work. You got to get to doing what you got to do, because you can't just stay around like this. And because I don't want to fall back into the place where I was a year ago, where I accomplished nothing, you know. So at least I feel like when I'm doing my like when me doing this podcast today and me getting myself together, I feel like I've accomplished something. So I don't feel as guilty to, you know, when I'm laying back down, like, okay, I tackled the day. So now I can reward myself with a little nap and some movies, you know. So that's how I kind of look at it.
Yeah. And I think that's interesting because I also have lists of things that I must get done. You know, because if I don't, then I don't have a business and it's just a hobby.
Exactly.
And so I have that as well. You know, I have those guidelines, I have calendars and lists and all of that stuff and reminders and that kind of thing. So I think it is important, you know, for anybody really, but if you have depression, to have, you know, something that you know, it's a mind game for me. I don't know how you do it, but for me, it sounds like you're kind of similar to me. You know, I reward myself when I get things done.
I do too. I do. And because like last year, I just didn't do anything. but then you would just feel guilty because you just didn't do anything.
Right.
So I started just playing, started saying, no, this is what I'm going to do today. I'm going to get all of this done. That way, when I am finished, I can go ahead on and just lay down and just play lazy, but at least I have accomplished something. And I don't care if it's like something like going to the grocery store or getting my email list out, or last week, I think my internet was acting crazy and I didn't get all of my text messages or anything out. And people were like looking for me like, where, because I have a text message system that I set up that you can text, the number to get inspiration every morning. And I missed a couple of days and I didn't know how that affected other people.
Oh.
So, yeah. So they were texting me like, okay, where's our inspiration? What's going on? What's going on with you? So I realized there are a lot of people dependent on me. And I have to be able to show up for them. So I feel like now I have too much to lose if I don't show up. So I'm really happy about that. So it gives me something. It's a mind game, like you said, it's a mind game. But I keep telling myself this time, I'm going to do this regardless of what my body is telling me, because my body aches so bad. And my feet hurt, my thumbs hurt. This pain is just so horrible. And walking from my office to my bedroom is just absolutely aggravating. But I realize that people are dependent on me, so that motivates me to get up and do what I have to do.
Mm-hmm. Definitely. So, I know that sometimes this is something that it hits people by surprise, I guess. So when they get into online business, you know about all the different mindset woes and things that pop up that we all learn about. And so I think that when the depression creeps in too, I think some people are just really taken aback by it and they don't know what to do. And so I'm wondering, maybe are there maybe a couple things that you would like to tell people who are in that situation where they're kind of surprised by this and wow, where did this depression come from?
Yeah. Well, basically what I do, I used to write a lot of things down, but I found that I didn't go back and do what the list says. So I personally have stopped writing things down. I have just decided that I'm going to get up. I do a pep talk, and I definitely start my day off with prayers, because I always ask God to give me the strength to do this today. Because there are days that, are harder than others, but, sometimes to me, prayer works. And I get up, I ask him, to let me start my day. And I read a lot of mindset quotes. I read a lot of articles every chance I get, if I'm standing in the line, if I am listening to a podcast, something that tells you, because when you hear other people doing something, I don't know how you feel about it, but if I see somebody else making it or doing something, I'm like, no. In my own mind, that's competition to me. Not to say that I'm better than this person, but I want to be where that person is. I want to do how she's doing. But in order to do that, I have to get up and do it. So to me, that's my motivation. Like, okay, so-and-so has 50, views on her live, meaning I need to get up and do a live. So in my mind, I'm running competition against the person who I'm, looking at, because I'm so in awe of a person that is not going through what I'm going through. But then I'm like, if that person's not going through what I'm going through, what's stopping me?
Right. So that is actually an awesome tip for people who struggle with comparisonitis.
Yeah.
Because they tend to do the opposite. They're like, oh, Lucy Lou Fancy Pants has 50 views and I have 2. And then they give up.
No, I don't give up. I say, to myself, I say, well, you know what? And I need to get 60, and not because I'm a better talker or doing anything better than her. She's my motivation. That is what, because I'm like, okay, Susie doesn't have what I have going on. So what's stopping me? So let me get up in here and let me do a Facebook Live. Let me get me 75 views. And then I feel good about myself, and that's what I do, because I like to see women doing things, and it motivates me to the fullest to say to myself, okay, if you want to get where she's at, then you got to do the work. So now instead of being envious, because depression can make you have so many bad thoughts. So instead of taking those bad thoughts, I've changed my bad thoughts to great happy thoughts, and how my life could be affected if I do what I need to do to get, to that place where I can accomplish just as many things, even though I have this debilitating disease that wants to hold me back. I mean, it sometimes it's just like, why? And I wouldn't wish this on anybody, especially struggling with addiction as well, because that plays a big role as well, because having chronic pain, addiction, and mental health, I am just a disaster waiting to happen. But by the grace of God, I keep moving.
Yes. And the audience should know that again, you really should go listen to Olivia's story, because it is really, truly amazing. And, she talks about all these things that she has going on, and she is a true inspiration because, she is online every day doing the things that she needs to do. I see her every day out there, talking to people and getting out there. And so, if there's anybody out there, and I'll add myself to the mix, I actually am still holding on to the security of a 9 to 5 because of my previous experience. And then I've also got fibromyalgia, some mysterious thyroid thing now. And, I'm just completely exhausted from all of that. Just a complete lack of time. And yet, I still get comments from people that don't know I work full time, who are like, how do you do all the things that you do with fibromyalgia? So I think what I want you to take from what Olivia said and what I just said is that you can do this.
Yes, you can.
The most important message.
Yes.
And I also want to have Olivia chat a little bit about some really amazing things that she's got coming up and going on that may help you in your journey. And she has got a challenge coming up that is going to be amazing, and a new group. So if you love her, you get to hang out with her in a group.
Yes.
So tell us what the group is about and what the challenge is about.
Well, the group is going to be about women in depression. It's going to be unleashing the mask, living, thriving, and succeeding with depression. And it's going to be a group where we're going to get together, and every day I'll have a little bit of, nuggets in the morning just to give us some pep talk to get us, get us started. I want a community where we can talk and be open and be honest about what is going on today, so that we can help each other get through the day, because 9 times out of 10, you always think you're the only person going through something. Mm-hmm. And if we have a group of ladies that could talk about it together, you don't have to be alone. And so I have had a lot of people who would email me or text me or DM me and say, well, how do you do it? I don't understand how you have depression, or you got, you suffer from this, and then you're doing this, you're doing that, you're doing this. There are days when I can look absolutely beautiful online. Girl, you would think I have nothing going on, but I do. So I want to start this challenge, and it's going to be a 5-day challenge, and it's going to help us be able to survive and thrive while in business, suffering from mental illnesses. So for 5 days, we're going to learn different topics on things that we can do to keep ourselves motivated, to keep ourselves, alive and thriving. Because if you don't, and if you know that you have somebody else that's going through the same thing, 9 times out of 10, you're going to be a little bit more motivated. Everybody is doing it. So I want to just do like 5 days where we all get on, I'll do some messaging, and maybe have like, I'm going to do a journal prompt every day. And I would love people just to come and give me some feedback on their question, what they're saying, what they're thinking. That way we all can talk together. So I'm going to do that for 5 days. And then after that, if you want to work with me one-on-one for some mentoring, I'll have all that stuff at the end of the 5 days. But until then, the group is going to always be around. So I'll just have, this group there for all of us who need it. And I'm going to stay on top of that group. And I'm going to be motivating and helping all of us get to this point so that we all can live and thrive and succeed with depression.
Awesome. So can you tell the audience once again the name of the group?
It's going to be Unleashing the Mask, Living, Thriving, and Succeeding with Depression.
Okay.
And the challenge, and I'm still trying to figure out what I want to name my challenge.
Oh, okay.
You know what? I kind of like, I'm still trying to figure out what I want to name it, but the challenge, they'll know what the challenge, because I think I'm going to start the challenge on, I'm thinking August 7th, which is a Monday, I think that's next Monday. So I'll have all that together but once you sign up in the group, once you join, and I'm going to ask you a couple of questions. I usually don't like to ask questions when I do a group, but I always have these hanger-ons who just want to be a part of the group but never want to participate.
Yeah.
So I'm going to actually ask questions. I want to know if you're really ready to be a part of this group. That way you can help and grow with all of us. So don't be shy. Just say, hey, this is what I want to talk about. This is what I'm going through. And I don't care what you're going through. If you want to join the group, you're feeling low, please, please, please answer the questions and get in there. We are all going to have such an amazing, amazing time uplifting and empowering each other.
Yes. Join this group, you guys. Join this group. All right. Well, Olivia, I think we've gone beyond our 20 minutes, but I know that my listeners will be very forgiving for that, considering the topic. I think there were some definite nuggets in there for people, because I know my clients deal, with this stuff too, and are always looking for inspiration and tips. So thank you so much for talking to me again. I just adore you, and I think everything you're doing is absolutely amazing.
Thank you so much. Thank you for always giving me all, of us ladies platforms to tell, give our message and spread it around. So thank you for that as well.
Absolutely. And I do want to say to the listeners that we will definitely get the link to Olivia's group and to her challenge in the show notes on my website. And so anytime I do a podcast, you can go to suzanneproxa.com/blog. And I do put all of the podcasts on my blog, so you will be able to find it easily. Plus, of course, the podcast is all over the place. So
exactly.
I'm everywhere.
Exactly.
All right. Well, thanks again so much for being here today. And I hope that the audience was inspired.
I hope so as well.
All right, everybody. So thank you for hanging for another episode of Business Mojo and Margaritas. And again, you can listen on iTunes, Stitcher, iHeartRadio, Google Play, basically all of the places. And if you would like to be a part of my Facebook group, you can head over to fempreneurs.biz, and it has the same name as the podcast. Thank you so much for listening to another episode. I'm so glad you decided to roll with me yet again. Hey, if you loved it, please give me a rating and some little comments on iTunes. And hey, if you're thinking that working together with my crazy self sounds like a fantastic idea, hunt me down, SuzanneProxa.com. That K is before the S. You can find all of my coaching information, my blog, my courses, all of the things, all right in one spot. And with that, I will see you in the next episode, gorgeous.